Cinderella's castle in Disneyland. You've seen that many times before, right?
Sure.
Wrong. This is a different Cinderella's castle. This is Disneyland. Put up the lower third. Hong Kong. They just opened it today. This is really sort of a cultural event, and I'm fascinated to see how the Chinese will react to this. This is many, many years in the making, and it is Disneyland Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Disneyland in China. Really interesting. So we're going to go there this morning, a little bit later in the broadcast. Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
And I'm Robin Roberts. Diane Sawyer's on assignment this Monday morning, September 12, 2005, and still a lot ahead. Oh, Disney's first theme park in China, Hong Kong Disneyland, opens today, and there for the grand opening is our own Mike Bars. Good morning, Mike, or good evening there.
Good morning. Well, it is evening, actually. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening. We're 12 hours ahead of New York time. Ni hao, Joe Sun. Hello. Good morning, but good evening here as well. And Mickey, we've had a historic day, haven't we? Hey, good to see you again. It's historic because this is the first ever Disneyland in Hong Kong, which is amazing because if you think about it, your face and your image back in the early 1900s when Communist China took over actually banned Mickey's image. But things have changed in a big-time way. You can see it all around. Sleeping Beauty in the castle. Isn't that pretty cool, Mickey? Of course, my favorite ride, Space Mountain, and Tomorrowland's over here in the distance. And then Disneyland is certainly not complete unless you have Main Street USA, which is an unbelievable sight to see here. People are snapping pictures at every turn. But there have been some subtle changes to this park. Mickey and gang have traveled almost 7,000 miles from their home in the U.S. to open Disney's newest park, Hong Kong Disneyland, where East meets West. Of the 1.3 billion people in China, 240 million of them are kids under the age of 14. And Disney is banking on those kids wanting more than anything in the world to come visit their friend Mickey in Hong Kong.
Well, it's a tremendous family culture here. They really do things together. And I think if there ever was a market that was ready for Disney, it's China.
But introducing the Disney family hasn't been an easy task. Disney characters used to be banned in China. The result, as incredible as it sounds, was until recently, most Chinese had no idea who Mickey, Goofy, or Donald were. So Disney is not just building a theme park, they're building a whole new fan base from the ground up.
You can't take anything for granted. You can't expect that just because it's called Disneyland, people know exactly what it is and they're going to show up willingly. You've got to stimulate that a little bit.
Great efforts have been made to infuse the American Disney story with distinctly Asian elements. The result, a theme park that bridges two cultures. When the park was built, Disney used feng shui, the Asian tradition of positioning buildings and objects to create harmony and balance.
We retain a feng shui master who look over our shoulders and advises certain elements need to be placed, like a rock, in the backyard of a hotel to provide stability and to balance the qi in those particular spaces.
Another nod to Chinese culture, the number 4 is absent from hotels at the park. No 4th floor. The number 4 sounds like the word for death in Chinese. And the Grand Ballroom? Exactly 888 square meters, because 8 is a lucky number. The rides may look the same. There's Magic Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, the Teacups, and the Jungle Ride, but the sounds you hear are just a bit different. The cafes and restaurants look American, but the food is definitely not. Noodles, roast duck, and dim sum have replaced a traditional all-American cuisine for the most part. Even the hamburger has an Asian twist. It's a pork patty with water chestnuts. Another thing that's different about Hong Kong Disneyland, guests are photo crazy.
They take pictures of everything in this park, too, and not just the characters, but the popcorn wagons and the fences and some of the lanterns. I mean, they're taking pictures of everything.
So Disney added a special touch that's only found in this Hong Kong park. Photo pavilions for each of the characters, where guests will wait in long lines just to get a hug and a snapshot from Winnie the Pooh, Mickey, or even Donald. Here in Hong Kong Disneyland, Mulan even speaks Chinese. Another difference, the lines. Some Chinese aren't used to standing in long lines, but Disney isn't worried. They're confident that their rides are worth the wait. And judging from the completely sold-out rehearsal days where guests did in fact wait in long lines for hours, sometimes in the pouring rain, and based on all the smiles on all the faces of the children and their parents, it looks like the magic of Disney is taking hold in China. Now, no rain today, beautiful weather, actually a little hot, but other than that, it's been great, right, Mickey? You've been having a great time out here today. Everybody having a real enjoyable time, smiles on all their faces. Now, coming up, what if you could snap your finger and have the whole park to yourself? No lines, no nothing. I'll take you inside the park. I got that unique experience over the weekend. Robin?
It is a small world, getting smaller all the time. That was fascinating to see Mike Barr's piece in the last half hour, the opening of Disneyland Hong Kong, and the kids haven't grown up with the characters, but it's amazing how fast
just like that
they adapt to them.
And they've loved, you can see how much fun they were having in the park. That is
Going to go back to Mike Barr's and get a bird's eye view of our parent company's newest theme park. Mike is live in Hong Kong for the grand opening of Hong Kong Disneyland, where he got the opportunity to cut the lines. He got the opportunity that kids would die for. Free reign over the newest park's brand new attractions. Mike?
Yeah, Charlie, I'm a kid at heart, and I love theme parks everywhere, and certainly Disneyland. And imagine, just imagine if you had all of this to yourself. Take all these people you see behind me over by Space Mountain standing in line. My buddy Buzz Lightyear in that ride as well. Imagine you just eliminate all the people here. You snap your fingers and you have it all to yourself. A key to the city, so to speak. I got that opportunity over the weekend. Hey, the park's not officially open, but hey, I made a few phone calls, and guess what? I've got it all to myself today. Come on. I probably didn't have to run, seeing as I was the only guest in the park. First stop, Buzz Lightyear.
Report to the flight deck for immediate launch. To infinity and beyond.
The effects were unbelievable. Once the ride ended, I headed to the gift shop in the hopes of joining the Buzz Lightyear fan club. Probably too small. Next, I made my way over to the Jungle Ride in Adventureland, where I think I got on the wrong boat. Here in Hong Kong Disneyland, there are surprises around every corner. And don't think at the end you can let your guard down. The ride has a dramatic finish. I think it was scarier not knowing what he was saying. I got a bird's eye, or I guess I should say Dumbo's eye view of the park and moved on. It was a bit strange that I hadn't seen any of the Disney characters. Hey, no trip to Disneyland is complete without a little spin on the teacups.
Enjoy your space, Bill.
Of course, after my stomach calmed down a bit, it was time to sample some of the local cuisine, including the char siu burger, a Hong Kong Disneyland specialty. The menus at the restaurants were a ride in and of themselves. Barbecued pork, noodles, and roast duck, just to name a few. Fishball soup, not before Space Mountain. After lunch, I took a quick stroll down Main Street, USA. Got to get something for the kids. Hey, I found Nemo. Imagine that. Finally, it was time to head over to Space Mountain. I think I'm good. Here we go. Whoa! That never gets old. Cool. Good to see you again. Neither does a hug from an old friend. Said hello. Very nice to meet you. I even got a quick snapshot with Mulan. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. After a full day of Disney excitement, I was wiped. Thankfully, Mickey was there to make sure I got home safely. Now, my son's going to be a little upset with me. He was actually supposed to make the trip out here, but I decided a 4-year-old on jet lag probably is not the best idea. So like any good dad, I'm going to bribe him as soon as I get in the door and I fly back there to New York. And I'm going to bring some gifts that are unique to this park here in Hong Kong. For example, look at this. You notice something different there, Charlie? He doesn't have a mouth, Mickey Mouse, and the reason for that is they did some marketing tests before the park opened, and these sold really well, kind of in the Hello Kitty mode, so they like that. And check out this right here, Winnie the Pooh. Now, let's face it, we know that he had a little bit of a weight problem, but he might be hitting the gym seeing how round he is in this one. So these are some of the toys that I'll bring back to you guys there in New York and share with you, and of course, I'll take a lot back to my son because he's going to be so jealous that I got the park all to myself. Charlie?
Mike, just one question. When you went through the restaurant, I noticed they were serving roast duck. Does Donald know that?
Donald! We're going to have a word with him. Donald, we need to talk in a little bit. I'll chat with him afterwards.
All right, Mike Barr's at the new Disneyland in Hong Kong. And we should point out, as you probably know, Disney is the parent company of ABC.
A
his wedding. Oh! Victor panicked and fled, and by a grave misunderstanding, married the corpse bride instead.
You may kiss the bride.
From the creator of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Who is she? I'm his wife.
Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter.
Maggots.
Tim Burton's Corpse Bride.
This is gonna be good.
Rated PG. In select cities September 16th, starts September